Please click the subscribe button and the notification icon. It will help us a lot.
I think it's great. I'll give you a story though. Like when I was starting out in the video game industry, I was brought on as a concept artist, but everyone around me was sort of a generalist. They could do texture art, they could UV map 3D models, they could model in 3D and use the 3D software that was required. And all I could do is paint and illustrate in Photoshop and do drawings, and I could do them really well, and that's why they hired me. But the development cycle of a video game, I don't know if it's changed much now, but concept artists are used earlier on, inventing the world, what it looks like and everything. And then as the game starts getting made, sometimes either concept artists are brought onto another project that might be in development, and if that's not the case, they need to transition into another position, like help with environment modeling and textures and things like that. And so everyone was pushing me to work in 3D because they were afraid that I was going to get laid off. And eventually what ended up happening was there was a big layoff because we had finished a project, and they kept me on, thankfully. And I kept saying, I don't want to do 3D. I want to be just a concept artist. And it was a risk that I took to just push that, but they never let go of me, and I just kept doing concept art. And I might have suffered a little bit not learning 3D back then, but I just wanted to focus on my craft and what I'm passionate about. And nowadays, there's a lot of concept artists are just absolutely insane with 3D, and they can generate these incredible worlds using 3D software and in Photoshop. But I will say that there is this medium in VR that I saw at a comic convention that I was at Silicon Valley Comic-Con back in March, and I met this gal who works for Google, and she is their resident VR illustrator. And she paints and creates worlds in VR. And so she showed me her demo, and I was totally blown away. And I'm very excited about getting my hands on this hardware. But essentially, there's these points in a room that track your hand movements, and you put the VR on, and you can totally illustrate and paint a branch in 3D, just like you're carving your paint strokes and creating these objects, and you can duplicate them. You can make a whole forest, and then you can paint the grass, and you can pull it up and push it down, and it was incredible. And you can create sort of a light source that will bounce the key light onto the objects that you're illustrating, and it's crazy. It's amazing, and it's totally the future. I can see 10 to 15 years from now, concept artists almost exclusively painting our art in VR, and it was incredibly easy. And she was like me. She was anti 3D artist modeler person, but yet here she was with this software painting and illustrating in 3D. So I think that's been a big hurdle for some people, including myself, is that the layers and layers and time of the layers of interface that you need to learn for a program like 3D Studio Max, and the amount of time it takes to get proficient will sometimes suppress your ability to just be creative doing concept art in Photoshop, and that's always been my struggle. But I think now, where we are now and where we're headed is just technology that makes it so much easier to just get your hands on it, and there isn't this gigantic learning curve. And so, yeah, I think we're headed in a very exciting place that's scary, but also very liberating for creative people like us. So, yeah.